All right, it's your boy Keen, and welcome to the Franchise Sports Talk Fantasy Football Blog. Getting so excited finally to give you my previews of all my top positional players and defenses for this year's Fantasy Football League. Now, for the next 2 weeks, pretty much every day, I'm going to give you my top players. I know a lot of people are starting their drafts coming into next week as well as the following week, so I need to give you my top positional players for each position. Today, I'm going to give you one of two videos of my top 20 quarterbacks. Now, I'm going to give you numbers 20 to 11 today and numbers 10 through number 1 tomorrow. And I promise you that with that one. Now, I'm going to start at number 20. Surprise, surprise. I'm going to go with Andrew Luck of the Indianapolis Colts. Now, this is a shocker for a lot of people. But because for the past 2 seasons, the top number 1 overall selection, Sam Bradford and Cam Newton, both won Offensive Rookie of the Year award in the National Football League as rookies. They had good seasons, particularly Cam Newton passed for over 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns to go along with 10 rushing touchdowns. Now Andrew Luck is not a big-time dual threat as Cam Newton, but I still think that Luck will stack up some decent points as a rookie. Yes, I do know that Pierre Garçon is not a part of the Washington Redskins, but I still think with Reggie Wayne still in with the Indianapolis Colts, Andrew Luck still work well with him, develop a chemistry between the two players, and learn out of a seasoned Pro Bowl, All-Pro veteran and Reggie Wayne. So I really think that Andrew Luck can do a good this season, just like how Cam Newton did and Sam Bradford as they were rookies, number 1 overall selections. At number 19, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay's Josh Freeman. Now last season I had him at number 10, but he had a terrible season. 22 interceptions. He needs to drop that interception ratio. But this is good news. There is some good news for Tampa Bay. They picked up Vincent Jackson out of the San Diego Chargers. And I think this is going to be a great addition for that young receiving corps for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And because of this, I think that Josh Freeman can have a prosperous season. At number 18, I'm going to go with Andy Dalton of the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, if it wasn't for Cam Newton, I strongly believe that Dalton could have been the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. He led this team to the playoffs. Yes, they lost in that wild card to the Houston Texans, but he still led this team, a young Cincinnati team with so much promise for their future. I really believe he could have won the Rookie of the Year. He had a good season, 20 touchdown passes to go along with 13 interceptions. I think he had a year, over 3,000 yards passing. He had built a decent chemistry with A.J. Green. These two players came together as rookies, and I think they could have a good, promising duo career together in the future for the Cincinnati Bengals. At number 17, I'm going to go with Ryan Fitzpatrick out of Buffalo Bills. This kid, I had him as my sleeper last season. He had a good year. He was actually 12th overall in points for in fantasy football play. But I think because I have a couple of plays ahead of him, I think I had to put him back this season. But they have a good defense coming up, especially with Mario Williams. Definitely give him opportunities to put Ryan Fitzpatrick back on the field and pick up good points, especially with Stevie Johnson as probably his leading target. At number 16, I'm going to go with Joe Flacco of the Baltimore Ravens. I think this is a good quarterback. He just needs to go over that hump. This is a defensive team, and Joe Flacco needs to be that stud on offense and help that defense out a little bit. The defense has been carrying this team for years and years. But when they still have Ray Rice, and they're leading offensive weapon, and I really think these two players can work well together. And plus, he built a good offensive threat. They built a good offensive threat with Torrey Smith last season. I think he could have a good year along with Anquan Bolden. They have a great offense. They just need to go over that hump. They were this close of winning that AFC Championship last season due to a missed kick and a drop pass by Lee Evans. That was key. But I think that Joe Flacco is due for a good, stellar season. At number 15, I'm going to go with Alex Smith of the San Francisco 49ers. This kid was actually 14th overall in points last season, and getting under the tutelage of Coach Jim Harbaugh, he had a great season, 17 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Plus, he's pretty nifty with his feet. He can give you the yards running the football and probably give you some good rushing touchdowns. So that's why I had to go with him at number 15. At number 14, I'm going to go with Jay Cutler of the Chicago Bears. With the addition of Brandon Marshall, Jay Cutler might even make the top 10 this season. Now, he was hurt most of last year, but he is back, and if he is fully healthy, as well as with the addition of Matt Forte being a good stellar blocker at the running back position, more time will be left for Jay Cutler to throw the football, and he could get good poise inside of the pocket. I think he could have a great season, especially with the addition of Brandon Marshall. They have built a great chemistry up in Denver, and that could be the same in Chicago. At number 13, I'm going to go with Big Ben Roethlisberger out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this big updating news for him, on breakthrough news, he's been dealing with shoulder and foot injuries. Now, and also, they still have to re-sign Mike Wallace, their leading receiver, last season, and that could be a big problem, but I really think the Pittsburgh Steelers will come up with a contract with Mike Wallace, but we will see. Anything can happen, but with these injuries, I had to put Ben Roethlisberger back at number 13. He was actually in my top 10 also last season with Josh Freeman. I think this is a good quarterback, passed for over 4,000 yards, but durability issues is a little bit of a problem that I'm having. That's why I had to put him at number 13. At number 12, a little bit of a shocker for some people. I think some people just think that this kid deserves to be in the top 10. Mark Sanchez of the New York Jets. He was actually 10th overall according to ESPN in fantasy football points. He had his best season yet in his career. 26 touchdowns to go along with 18 interceptions, over 3,400 yards passing. I think he can have a better season. Finally getting that swag together, getting more comfortable with that offense, and I really think with Santonio Holmes, if he steps up this year, Mark Sanchez can make it the top 10 again this year. And wrapping up the top numbers 11 through 20-11, just barely missing the top 10. I'm going to go with Matt Schaub of the Houston Texans. Yes, he was hurt last season, but he had a good year just before he got hurt. 2,400 yards, 15 touchdowns, and just 6 picks. And I think with Arian Foster fully healthy with a good tandem with him and Ben Tate, Arian Foster is probably the top all-purpose running backs coming into this year's Fantasy Football League, the NFL. He's a great target to throw to as a receiver, and we all know probably the best, or probably the top 3 best receivers in Andre Johnson. With Matt Schaub back in the mix, fully healthy, recovered from his injuries, he should have a good, outstanding season, and I think he could lead this team back into the playoffs this year. So that wraps things up for numbers 20 through 11, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow to wrap up all my top 10 quarterbacks, numbers 10 to number 1, and I'll catch you later on pretty much every day with the remaining top players of all the positions for this year's Fantasy Football League, and I'll see you guys then. Take care, everybody. I'm your man, Akeem McCall, and thank you for watching this Franchise Sports Talk. Take care. Be easy.